So I have pretty much this week done. Like I said, if you were here earlier, I had the whole week all done, and then I looked on Friday, and we did what we were supposed to, what I had on Monday on Friday. So I accidentally copied it twice. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I think you've read this article with Miss Foley, Shelter the Teepee. And this one kind of goes with our articles that we've talked about with transport and trade, food and drink, clothing, getting around, and some of these things. So it fits with that. So we are going to still continue this question that we had on Friday. What does the exploration of the relationship between the Nez Perce homeland and teepee reveal? So last time we did, what is the exploration with the Nez Perce homeland and children's play? What does that reveal? Okay, so we are actually going to look at what our assessment is tomorrow. So we've got our final, usually we have stuff we do every day, but we have a final assessment, and that lets me know if you are understanding what we're talking about in class. Okay, so we're going to talk about it today. We're going to read the article that you're going to do your assessment with, and tomorrow we will actually do the assessment, okay, and turn in some things. But today we're going to practice what we would do with the assessment, but we're going to do it with our articles like food and drink, clothing, getting around, and spirituality. Okay? So what I would like you to do is I want everybody to open up 6C Shelter the Teepee. Okay? And we're going to open that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to open up your assessment too. I want to let you know what that's about. And we're going to read it because I want you to be familiar with this story, because that's what your assessment tomorrow is going to be on. So it's like a test. So assessment means test. Okay, so your quiz. So what we're going to do tomorrow, and we're going to practice it today. Okay, and we're going to read the article, and we'll reread it tomorrow, and we'll re-talk about this again tomorrow. So we're going to practice what we would do, though. So tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to have our quiz, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to look at topic statements again. Ooh, and evidence. Oh, man, we haven't talked about that at all. I'm kidding. We've talked about that a lot. So we're looking at how the Nez Perce homeland helped sustain their lifestyle and culture. That's been this whole last 2 weeks, okay, as we've been talking about this. So we talked about children's play. We're going to relook at food and drink and clothing and spirituality and transportation and getting around. So we're going to relook at this. Okay, so for several lessons, we've been talking about the Nez Perce homeland and looking at how it shaped the culture and the ways of life of the Nez Perce people. And you've kind of been an expert on So what you're going to do is today we're going to become an expert on the shelter. Okay, so we're going to reread Shelter the Teepee. And we're going to write a summary again for somebody who might want to read this article. Okay, so you're an expert. You know all about the Nez Perce with their shelters and teepees. And we're going to read about it today, so you will know about it. And you're going to have to write a summary. So you're going to have to talk about a topic sentence, okay, just like we've done in the past, a couple things that prove so it's going to include 1 or 2 points. So we're going to say like, oh, it talks about shelter, and then you'll say a couple different things about your topic sentence. You're going to give some evidence to prove your ideas. So that's your 1 or 2 points on your evidence. And then you're going to elaborate. So remember, we talked about with Miss Foley, I think it was 2C or 2SEC. Okay, so topic, sentence, evidence, and elaborate. We're going to expand on it. And because we've been talking about the homeland, we want you to make sure that you use the word homeland in it, because that's kind of our topic. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today on an article. And what we are going to end up doing tomorrow as well. So let's become an expert really quick. I need someone to help me read so I can have multiple people. Why don't we do it by paragraph? This is not a Notability. I'm going to put it in Notability. So if you'd like to read, yeah, please raise your hand. And I'm going to have you guys read a paragraph. I want the TP. So open up 6C, shelter the teepee. And if you want to make notes on this right now, you're more than welcome to, okay? So we are going to read this today, and we're going to read it tomorrow because I want you to know the information and pretend that you have written this article, okay? So while you do that, I'm going to set up your breakout rooms with your articles that you guys read before. So Riley, could you actually read the first two paragraphs? So the first paragraph and that little line. Could you read that for me?
Yeah. The Indians on the plains hunted a huge herd of buffalo that roamed the grasslands. They used the meat, the hides, the bones, and virtually all parts of the buffalo to make almost everything they needed. The buffalo didn't stay in one place, but roamed across the prairies in search of areas where grass was plentiful and people followed them, and so they needed portable homes that could be moved quickly and easily. The Nez Perce and other tribes called their beautiful portable homes teepees.
Okay, Iris, could you continue?
Teepees were made from buffalo skins held up by poles. The poles were most often made from lodge poles, pine, so named because the trees grow tall and slender and strong and are just the right size and strength for teepee poles or lodge poles. The bark is removed from the tree as soon as the tree is cut down. If the bark is left on the tree for a very long time, it hardens up and can't be removed. The peeled poles are pretty and strong.
Okay, Harper, could you read?
Yes. It took between 10 and 40 hides for one teepee, depending upon how big the buffalo were and how big the teepee was. And new teepees were made in the spring to replace old ones that had worn out. Modern teepees are made from canvas.
Okay, then I have Greta.
The inside and outside of a teepee was often decorated with paint made from natural dyes and colors. The front of the teepee was laced together with sticks, and the top of the teepee had smoke flaps that could be held open with poles to let smoke out, or fold shut to keep out snow and rain. In the heat of the summer, the bottom could be rolled up to let a cool breeze pass through.
Okay, then I have, wait, who was that? That was Harper? Could I have Greta then?
I just read.
Oh, sorry. Ellie.
Which paragraph is it?
Sorry, you guys, can you let us know? I'm trying to do breakout rooms.
It's the first paragraph in the second page.
Okay, so the big difference.
The big difference between a tent and a teepee is the teepee's liner. This is a short wall of hides that is strung around the poles of the inside of the teepee cover. It makes the teepee like an envelope house, where the cold air from outside enters at the bottom of the teepee cover, goes up several feet between the cover and the liner, then enters the teepee already pre-warmed. It creates a ventilation system that ensures that the teepee is cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and not nearly so smoky or wet as a tent. It's engineering marvel.
Okay, Nora.
Oftentimes in the spring, all the members of a tribe gathered at one great camp. A council teepee or lodge was built in the center, and different bands of family groups put their teepees in a circle around it. Each band had a certain section of the circle so that people could find each other easily. A person would always know where to find an old friend because their teepee would be in the same place each spring.
Okay, and then Bailey.
When women gathered together to work on a new teepee, they enjoyed a special feast. It took about a day for them to make a new teepee.
Okay, so when it was time to move the teepees, the women did the work too. Generally speaking, two people who are taking their time can put up or pitch a large teepee in about 20 minutes. In contest, though, two Indian women could put up a teepee in less than 3 minutes. When it was time to move, the woman would take down or strike the teepee. It was rolled up and tied to a travois along with other things to be moved. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, and maybe there are some other words that you guys didn't know. I want you guys to know this article pretty clearly. Really quickly, before I continue, Ava, Carter, Joelle, Joshua, Matthias, Noah, and Veronica, could you tell me in the chat what was the article that you ended up reading? Was it the clothing, food and drink, getting around, spirituality, or transport and trade? Okay, just because I didn't have you guys respond before. Okay, so while they do that, ladies and gentlemen, some words like hides, so they were covered with hides, so around it, that's what you would end up using it, and they were animal skins, so usually buffalo or cow, so it didn't work with small animals. Ventilation is that movement of air and space, so a lot of times they had ventilation, I think they said in the top, okay, to help, so they had, cold air, so they had a envelope house where the cold from the outside enters the bottom of the teepee cover, goes up several feet, then enters the teepee already pre-warmed. Okay, so then it cools it, so it causes it to have natural air conditioning or heat in the winter. And engineering is using math, and it's a type of science to build those structures. And we have the word travois, which is those two poles that they stick together. Okay. Was there another word that you guys didn't know? Any other word in here?
No.
Okay, so we used the buffalo skins. Was there anything that you guys noticed or wondered about this essay?
Yeah, I wondered a lot of things that I wrote down a lot. Like, did they ever change places, or like what was the paint made out of? Did they make teepees? To make teepees, did they only use buffalo skin? Where did they get the word teepee from?
Oh, there's some good wondering,
And
noticing.
did every house have to be a teepee? Was the teepee a symbol of something?
Or was it just, that way because it was easy? Ellie, did you have something?
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay.
I was just, yeah.
Okay. Or Bailey or Harper, did you guys have something? Somebody raised their hand.
Yeah, I have something.
Okay.
So some things I wondered from like before I even read it, what did they make the teepees out of and what did they have inside? And I noticed that they said the shelter was a teepee, so that meant there could be their home was a teepee, was what I noticed. I also wondered what did they use as flooring or beds for the teepees. I wondered how big were they and what did they make the paint out of, which Riley had two. Some things I noticed were that they go with the buffalo to different places, that they use buffalo hide and logs to make their homes, and it took a ton of hides to make one teepee.
Yeah.
And I have more, but
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. That was, yeah, they said between 10 and 40 hides. So that's a lot of good information, a lot of good wondering. So hopefully you guys, um, hopefully you're still thinking about some of the wonderings, okay? Beautiful. I'm still waiting. Ava, Joelle, Joshua, and Noah, did you remember if you read the story or the article Food and Drink, Clothing, Getting Around, or Spirituality or Transport and Trade? Can you let me know in the chat? So what I would like everybody else to do then is under Monday, we have, it's called Handout 7B. It's our group article. So last time it was it was children's play. So this article, go ahead and click on it and put it into Notability. It's going to look like what we did for children's play, but this one, when you submit it, search for group article, okay? Because this one is going to be about the article that we read as a group. And when you get it, you can put in at the top, what was your topic? So was it children's play? So your top, was it food and clothing? Okay, if you have forgotten which one, I'm going to stick you in a group. So
what was the number of the paragraph, the group paragraph?
So are you talking about what, the numbers? It was 6, A, B, C, D, E, or F. So, give me a second and I will,
Oh, like how last week we had child's play?
Yep.
So what was this one?
This one is called group article.
That's what it's called?
Yep. Well, your topic is going to be, children, or sorry, your topic is going to be the ones that you read last week. So it's either going to be clothing. Remember how we read clothing or food?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, so your topic is going to be, is it food and drink, clothing, shelter, getting around? Yep. Okay.
So basically what we're doing is whatever like thing that we had, like I have spirituality. So we just put the topic is spirituality. Then we do the evidence, the elaboration, that stuff like.
So this is what you're going to do today. And actually, why don't I'll pull up. I haven't been following this. So, let's see, no, we're on 8. Woohoo! So, awesome job. So like I said, I wanted to review. Now we're all ready for our topic here. I suppose I can show you what the PowerPoint actually shows. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the topics to sec. Okay, so we already looked at our assessment, and we're going to look at it again tomorrow. And we read our TP. So before we start reading our article again, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we read on the TP, and we've read so much about the Nez Perce homeland. Can somebody, let's raise our hand, and then I want you to come online, and I want you to tell me one thing that you know or you've learned about the Nez Perce homeland so far. So raise your hand, and I want to hear just one thing, because I know there's a whole bunch of things. And we're going to review them again today in clothing and spirituality. Riley, what's one thing that you know about the Nez Perce homeland?
The way they the where they lived and what like they did shaped the way of the life that they had.
Ooh, that's very good. Thank you. That actually connects to our main question. Bailey, what is something that you learned about so far?
I learned that they hunt and that the women did a lot of working.
Yeah, awesome. Anybody else have something? It could be something really big, or it could be just a minor detail. Is there something else you learned or know about now? Greta.
The way they make the teepees.
Ooh, yeah, because we read about that today. Anybody else? Did you learn anything about food or drink or where they live or who they are, how they moved, how they played? Ooh, Greta.
To learn from food and drink, like how they made like their
drinks and their punches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. How about playing? Ellie?
I learned how different they play compared to how we do.
Mm. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, did you want to add on to it?
No, I was just going to say compared to how different we play in 2021.
Perfect. Yeah, especially compared to how we play nowadays with all that technology. Oh, somebody else had one, and you just put your hand down. Anybody else? Okay. So we are looking at how did their homeland still sustain their lifestyle and culture. So today we are going to still look at our topic sentences and our explanatory paragraphs. So you looked at an article, food and drink, clothing, getting around, spirituality, transport and trade. And I want you to think about, so those are explanatory paragraphs because they explain things. We are going to look at those topic statements and find some evidence with it. Okay, so we looked at our assessment and we are going to think about what are some evidence to support our main idea of those topics. Okay, so
Are we going to go in our breakout sessions now?
yes, so you will have a chance to go with your breakout question or your breakout groups. And the main idea, again, is kind of how did the Nez Perce homeland shape or sustain the aspect of Nez Perce lifestyles or culture? So what you're going to do is you're going to, with your story or with your group, maybe I am food and drink. Okay, we're going to do the same way that we did with child's play. So we read it first. So you're going to reread it because it's been about a week. You're going to reread it. And then I want you to think about what things, again, talk about the homeland. Okay, so if you remember in child's play, we wrote homeland. If you want, you can label them. So we wrote, ooh, this kind of talks about the homeland. This kind of talked about specifically to the homeland. Okay, and then together, okay, so this is what we're going to do for most of it. You're going to choose, just maybe, why don't we choose two? We're going to choose I'm going to say two of the strongest pieces of evidence to put under here. So, for example, we chose that, and we copied it. They made small baskets, pots, bows and arrows, and even teepees. We thought that was part of the homeland. So we put that here. That was what paragraph? And then we elaborated. So how did that show that their homeland? Well, their homeland, these materials were only found in their home. Does that make sense? We chose another piece of evidence. So how does it connect? So again, the question is, how does the Nez Perce homeland shape and sustain their lifestyle or culture? So we're going to look, what other homeland ones did we have? We also said the Plains children enjoyed villages of small teepees made by their parents. So we said what paragraph they were in. And then we said, well, remember, teepees, as we kind of learned today, they're by the Plains people because they could really quickly put them up and put them down. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with your group today. You're going to read it. So let me import one to show you. You're going to read it. And as a group, maybe say, remember you just have to write HL next to something that talks about their homeland. Okay, but maybe there's a whole bunch. Maybe there's some. So maybe as you read it, you're done with the paragraph. You can say, I found two of them here and share with your group where you found them. Then you're going to go to this. You're going to choose two. So I'm going to write on here, choose two pieces of evidence that talk about the homeland. And elaborate. How is that connected to the homeland? So elaborate, how is it connected to the homeland. Okay, and we're in groups together because I want you to be able to practice this, because when we do our SR assignment tomorrow, we're going to do this exact same thing, but we're going to do it with the teepee. Okay? What questions do you have, ladies and gentlemen? So your topic here is either clothing or spirituality, or what are the other ones? Food and drink, getting around, or transport. Okay. Okay. Noah, Joshua, and Ava, did you remember which one you had? If not, I'm going to put you in a group, and then you can work with that group together. Beautiful. Okay, so you can go into your breakout rooms. I will put that here in just a second, and I will be bopping in and out. Don't forget to raise your hand if you have a question. So step one, read it. Read it as a group, and then write HL next to them. Okay, so like we did with Child's Play, is we reread it. Well, I did mark it down, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. Read it as a group, so maybe split up what paragraphs, and then write HL next to things that talk about the homeland. Okay, here you go.